All right. Welcome everybody to our WoW Wednesdays testimonials call. And I've got an exciting testimonial tonight with one of our team members, Crystal Strauss. Her son has struggled quite a few years with, is it autism? Was I right when I said autism, Crystal? It's a little bit of everything, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he is actually vaccine injured. I actually have a letter from a neurosurgeon who opened up an autism treatment center, and he said we've gotten all the tests. He's actually vaccine injured, but but his side effects, his symptoms, and all his health problems are exactly the same as autism.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let Crystal lead us off and kind of give us a little bit of story about Parker, and let her take off with something that we tried just this past week, and she messaged me, and I'll let her tell it.
Okay. Just a quick little background. He was developmentally above average. He skipped crawling, went right to walking, was talking at 10 months. After 40 some vaccines, before he was a year and 2 months, he lost it all. We've been detoxing since the beginning of 2015, 9 years now. And we tried detox. Oh my God, there I am. We tried detox. We did a lot of things. And we are now at the point where his cognitive is disconnected. We need to connect his cognitive. I brought his speech back, but he still has some speech issues. He has major anxiety, gut issues, and different things like that. Since we have gotten a phone, that is, I have to say, it actually helps better than any supplement we've ever tried to calm him down, to get him to sleep, for detoxing. I came to Tammy last week and asked her, can you give me one for cognitive? And is there any homeopathics? I was getting the feeling like his supplements, it was time to get off of them a little bit. I did it in 2020 for a whole year. And I can tell you, even if his supplements are on overload, when I take him off, he still has anxiety and he doesn't talk. It doesn't heal the brain to talk just because his supplements are in overload, because he needs a break from them. So I took him off. I gave him a break. And I went on I started playing these cognitive playlists for him. And Tammy told me about these two homeopathic supplements for the brain, for the cognitive. They're for ADHD, autism. Like I said, the symptoms are all the same. And so the first day I only had him on one because I didn't get the other one in. So for 2 days I had him on the one, and I didn't give him 3 times a day like I was supposed to. First 2 days I gave it to him 1 time a day. The third day the other one came in, I only gave them both 2 times a day. The fourth day 2 times. I thought, I'm going to give him a break. I'm going to keep him on 5 and off 2. But at that moment, after 4, I gave him a break. And every time you ask him a yes and no question, it's always yes or no. If he has to say no, he gets anxiety with that. And I asked his daddy in the morning, said, how you doing, buddy? Are you good? He said, I'm doing good, buddy. Never does he answer in full sentences. Never. So I just looked at him. He looked at me, and we've kind of gotten good at hiding how in shock we are, because it never gets old. So then later on that day, we went away and we were in the car. And if I ask him if he has to go pee, I like him to go potty before we leave. Better than out in a public place. I said, Parker, you need to go in and go potty. He said, usually he'll say no. And then he gets anxiety because he knows I want him to, but he doesn't have to. Either he did or he doesn't have to. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he said, I did pee already. His exact words. Never, ever did he ever answer me with a sentence. It was always yes or no with anxiety. Even if he has to go, it's anxiety because he doesn't want to get out and go and he gets mad. I was just in total shock. And then his dad come out and didn't know I asked him. And he repeated the exact same thing again. He looked me in the eyes and said, I did go potty already, or I did go pee already. And I said, Kevin, let him go. He already went. Because I was in shock, like, don't push him to go. So he immediately reacted to this medicine. And I didn't get to tell you this, Tammy, but his anxiety, I haven't seen any. And he doesn't like the word no. So we have to go roundabout. Like, instead of saying, no, you can't do that, we say, not today, honey, tomorrow, because it's better that you can get the point across without saying the word no is a trigger. He does not have anxiety. He doesn't get upset. He's calmer. He doesn't fight to go to sleep at night. He was going to bed at 10. We couldn't get him to go to bed before midnight. Then he was going to bed at 10:30, between 10 and 11. And I just started him back up again. He's only been on it a week. That's it. The scanner is just amazing with this. Now, once in a while, I'll run detox. If you don't see any improvements, I'll run detox. So it's open for improvements. I didn't have to get that far yet. Every day he does something new. And it's amazing. And I don't know what I'd do without the scanner. It isn't just the supplements, because the supplements are in the scanner. And when I didn't have the supplement, I was running it in the scanner, and I was seeing improvements with that alone, get along everything else. So, anybody, I'm actually going to try it on my husband, and I'll tell you why. He remembers everything at work, but when he comes home, he kind of shuts down. I think part of it is because, of the situation with my son. And then also he has stress at work. So I'm going to start it on him because it also helps with stress. His memory just shuts down the minute he gets home. So I'm going to try it on my husband. I'll have to let you know how it works, but I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And Crystal's been with me from kind of the beginning. You've been involved with it since what, 2021 or 2022? You
21.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it's the beginning of 2021. We got him when we went away for my birthday, I think, that February.
And the two homeopathics that we used were, I can tell you real quick.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Find it real quick.
And while you're looking for it, I'm also getting the patches from Solex and from Solex.
Oh, the dots. Yeah.
Yeah, the dots. I'm sorry, I call them patches. The dots. And program it. The program you gave me is amazing, and I'm going to program them in the dots and add that to it.
Nice. And if anybody wants the CEPI playlist, I can put it in the chat. It's Burita Carbonicum is what she's been using in the playlist. There's another one called Bacopa Munir Q, which is a homeopathic made by a Hindu doctor. But it's not in our scanner, but we can reproduce it, and she could use it with him too. But honestly, it's something that I tell a lot of people is, if you'll wear the playlist on you, if you'll take the playlist internally, either by homeopathic pellets or putting it in water, and then if you also broadcast it, and then of course dietary changes and lifestyle changes along with that, is really going to show you a huge shift in your system when you do all of that together. So just know that with your scanners, you can't just broadcast and think that everything's going to work. You need to work along with it. So, and Crystal does that. She's been doing that for a very long time. So any other testimonials or anything that anybody's found with it? Thank you, Crystal, for sharing. We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I just want to clarify timing here. Did something happen recently that was different, or this is just now breaking through?
No, to be honest with you, it's been very hard to detox him and heal him for a couple of years now, because everything I use, he gets out of control. So I can't, it's too much. So I kind of feel like when these phones came, it was a blessing because I felt helpless. He would just get too out of control. I couldn't detox him. He's getting more done with this phone than I can do it at all. And to be honest with you, before those things came in, Tammy, before I got them in the mail, I only had the playlist. So I know the playlist works because it worked before I got the supplements. Everything together just is enhanced. So I know it's not one or the other. It's everything that works, whether it's alone, it's just together. But no, I've been trying to heal him since the beginning of 2015. And we've had breakthroughs here and there. I brought his voice back, took care of some of his sensory issues. So, but I could tell right away because he got really quiet. That is when he detoxes, it's almost like he goes into foggy brain. To me, that's a sign that it's working. And that's what happened the first 3 days, but that was a breakthrough for me. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, the first 3 days, something was new.
Yeah, oh, yes, that was new. There was nothing changed. I was doing the same routine for a while now because I wasn't able to detox him because he just gets too wound up, too out of control. And he's big now. He's 11. So it's a little bit harder. So no, nothing changed except that. Yeah, I see what you mean now. Yeah, nothing. I did take him off his supplements because he was on an overload. But I already had him off. And like I said, when I took him off before, it didn't make him talk more, didn't heal the brain that way. It didn't calm it. He had just as much anxiety off as he does on. Like that doesn't change. So no, nothing changed. I even stopped the zeolite a couple weeks ago because it just was making him wound up, So this calms him down. And I know the phone does because I played stress on my husband. And I want to tell you something. He's night and day. So I could give a lot of testimonies through the last couple of years. Ain't Tammy? I get so excited.
Yeah. I think we all do. Some words, it's like, oh my gosh.
I'm like so crazy excited. So
it's just amazing with any vaccine damage, any of these kids with the spectrum or whatever. It appears to me that they really respond well to the frequencies because it's you're not messing with their tactile and their sensory issues or anything like that. It's just they're getting it without them knowing it. So to me, that it just does big things for them.
I just got to say one thing. It works so much. I was so impressed. And we live paycheck to paycheck. We don't have, we struggle sometimes because everything for him, his medical needs, everything's out of pocket. And it works so good that I had to get 3, 1 for each of us. That's how good it works. And we struggle, but it's worth it because Kevin needs his own, Parker needs his own, and I need my own. So,
I've often said it's the best insurance policy to have because I know I've had mine going on 3 years, and honestly, I've not been as sick as much as I used to be. I mean, I was in and out of the hospital all the time in the past with pneumonia and lung issues and just mental crap that you didn't want to deal with. But since I've had my scanner, I mean, it has completely just done a 360 on me. So to me, it's worth every penny of the 149. So
I tell my husband, I'll sell something to keep him. I'm not getting rid of them. We just, all 3 of us need it all the time, and I'm trying to heal my eyes now. So I don't need contacts or glasses. So I'm running that all the time. But yeah, I'll tell anybody this, because it's just, I was a desperate mom who can't heal, a warrior who has to sit back, but no, between the phone and homeopathics did better than anything.
I love to hear that. And I hope that word gets out even more because that's one thing that hurts my heart when people say, well, $149 a month. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Do you have any idea what this does? And where else are you putting your money?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
that is one of the things that I find is that a lot of people don't know the value of the scanner because they've not really gotten to see every aspect of it. It's very difficult to show, in a quick time frame what all it does, because it does so much. I mean, I've spent 2 and 3 and 4 hours on Zoom calls with people trying to show them everything, and I still don't cover it all. So we have such a valuable tool in our hands that I just feel like everybody would benefit from it if we could just, show them exactly how to use everything in it.
Yeah, and to me, for the 149, that's one counseling session. That's how much it would cost you for one counseling session. And we get it for a whole month, and look at how many times we can deal with our emotions.
And much better results.
Exactly. Way better results.
Way better.
Oh, I agree. If I can make it go with 3, people can make it with 1, and I save a lot of money. Look at the money you save on supplements by running a scan to see what you actually need. You're not taking it every day. As a matter of fact, I've had such a good feeling like he needs to get off of his supplements for a while. And then I thought, I'm going to check the phone, because I was slacking on that. And don't you know, his scans come up all homeopathic, no supplements. Only one time it said 1 magnesium. I said that validated what my tuition was saying. The phone's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I have
Anybody else? Oh, go
I
ahead.
should write a book. I have a lot of testimonies for you and give it to you to give out.
You come on every Wednesday and let everybody hear you.
People need to hear.
Yeah, because there are many a times when he gets excited and happy, his brain doesn't calm down. So when we take him to an arcade or somewhere fun, we have to hold him. He runs out in the street. I mean, he gets too excited. He doesn't see anywhere but straight ahead. He'll run off. This thing, I always take it with, and I run this calming or stress on him. And boy, is it a game changer. Let me tell you, I got goosebumps on that one, because it's a game changer. Trust me, it's huge, Oh, and that one time, Tammy, we were in a car and he was projectile vomiting, and I asked in the group, hurry, what do you do for that? And so many people gave me a playlist. It stopped him like that, and his stomach was better. He was eating not even an hour later. Oh, I have so many to shut up now.
Yeah. My daughter-in-law actually texted me yesterday. She had a stomach ache, diarrhea, vomiting. I ran the scan on her, and all the markers on it. I thought, she's probably got flu or it may be a really bad case of food poisoning. I couldn't tell between the markers that I was seeing, but I scanned and optimized her. I did the body systems on her, and then I also ran Cephis all through the night for her for flu-like symptoms. And I texted her this morning, and she says, I'm completely fine, like nothing ever happened. And I went, scanner's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So anybody else like to share anything?
Yes, Jacqueline, how is everybody doing? My husband has been in the hospital for 3 weeks now.
Oh.
As of Saturday, well, they had kind of given him up. He's military. He had been to Vietnam twice, so he had a lot going on, from the Agent Orange and the diabetes, and he got cellulitis. He's Cherokee Indian. I don't think you can see the picture good to see his legs. I don't know if you can see it, but
No, we can't
he's
see it.
very fair skinned because of his Cherokee Indian part, but his legs are as dark as I am, with a red tone to it. But he's very fair skinned. So at any rate, they had given him the top of the line antibiotics, and nothing was working. We were losing him. Nothing was working. They changed biotics 3 times. Then they were giving him metformin. So I kind of snap, crackled, and pumped. So I went in Saturday. He wasn't eating at all. He was just sleeping. And I'm like, well, how are you giving him these type of antibiotics and he's not eating. That doesn't make good sense to me because there's nothing absorbing those antibiotics. And he was getting worse. His legs were huge and they were fire to the touch with gloves on. I went in, I stopped all medication. They were, ma'am, you have to sign. I say, I will sign my name. Do not give him any metformin. Do not give him any Cipro. Do not give him any Clive, whatever that word is, whatever that long V word is. Nothing. Stop it all. So I came home. I did a scan on him, and I went by the scan, and I ran the scan according to what I've learned from everybody. I ran the scan and his legs were like bleeding, just openly bleeding. I went back, those were closing, all of the oozing had stopped. It was scaling over. It was warm to the touch. The swelling had reduced. And the wound care lady was like, well, I don't understand. I said, you don't have to. I said, and he said they came in there and they were yet trying to, when I would leave, they would try to give him the metformin and the Cipro and the medications. And he said, no. He said, you know, call my wife. And which he already knew that's what they weren't going to do. And so as of today, I didn't mean for the state to go in and surprise them today, but they did. And I am moving him tomorrow, bringing him home. But the playlist worked. I didn't put another selfie patch on him because they kept asking him what was it. So I just ran the selfies from home. And that way they worked. His legs look much better. He's doing good. Now he's telling me he needs to go take his CDL exam for DOT Friday because it expires on the 23rd. And I'm like, and he's asking me, where's the keys to my car? To my truck? Where's my, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, you didn't come from death back to trying to run something. That ain't gonna work either. But at any rate, that's my testimony.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
78 years old. And it was so many people in there I wanted to help. I mean, it was a floor full of amputations. They have amputated all of these people's limbs. And I can guarantee you, because they tried to amputate years ago, and I wouldn't let them do it. But I felt so bad because the majority of the floor was amputations. But what really got me is they're bringing their food in, putting it there, and if you're picking up the food the same way you put it down, but you're giving them their meds, what kind of sense do that make? So that's why I call the state on them.
Great, proactive.
Yeah, probably saving somebody's life too. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I just
Wow.
got a call right before this. A friend of mine, her husband is 80 and in the hospital 10 days with some kind of blockage. They cannot tell if it's blood or fibrin or plaque. They don't know what it is, but they've tried everything and they're telling him he's not a candidate for surgery. She's been running her AO scanner all day, every day for this entire time, and nothing is coming up in the venous system, the nervous system, or the arterial system. And I'm just shocked. I asked her to send me information so I could run a scan, but I'm confused.
That's strange, but they're saying it is a blockage.
They're saying, yeah, it started in his big toe and the blood flow is completely blocked now. His leg is swelling and very painful, and they don't want surgery. So I don't know. He's been on serapeptase. She said she's been running scans every day and none of this is coming up. So I said, well, send me the information and I'll see if I find anything. But she's shocked that nothing's showing up in venous or arterial.
Well, maybe it will just be mysteriously gone and he'll get like a turnaround and, because the AO.
Right. Yeah.
We can hope that, you know.
Oh, well, Dr. J, thanks for sharing your story with your husband. That's exciting.
Yeah.
You're muted,
Any,
hon.
anybody else want to share? Oh, there she goes. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. It started in his legs, the cellulitis did. And they were saying that there was a blockage for the circulation. And his sugar was 410.
Mm.
But his sugar has gone as high as 600 because of his Indian heritage. But like I said, I just stopped everything. But metformin is not good for anybody anyway.
Mm-mm.
But I stopped everything and just went solely to the AO scanner. So I'm very thankful for this group and for those that, you know, that share. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing your playlist on that?
Oh,
That you
no,
use?
I don't mind sharing. No.
Perfect.
not
I
at
would
all.
share that with my friend and see if it's anything close to what she's using.
Okay.
Yeah. That's I'd be interested to know the friend and what's going on with that, because that doesn't sound right. You
No,
should see something in the scanner that shows up as kind of a red flag somewhere.
well, and
but-
they've been using iTerra for months also with neuropathy and things. So really confused.
Yeah. That is strange.
Could
Mm.
it be as simple as his polarity is off? I've heard somebody say that, you know, like if the polarity is reversed. And I know Nadia knows how to fix it. I do not, but I've heard her talk about people don't necessarily receive what they need to receive if their polarity is mixed up.
Yeah. You know, I was just talking with, and I was hoping she was going to be on the call tonight. I had somebody that I was working with last week. She's in Canada and she's one of our new QLAs that, you know, I simply had her check her polarity and it was off. So the way to fix that is to rub a stainless steel spoon on the bottom of your foot in a figure 8, both feet. And the way to check that, of course, is to stand up and you'll put your hand not on your head, but towards your head. And when you're standing with your knees relaxed, you should go forward for it to be correct. And then if you flip the hand backwards, you should go back. But she didn't move either way. We did the spoon on the bottom of her feet and she tested again and she went in the right directions. And do you know, she started feeling better along with Steffi's. But I just told her, I said, maybe your polarity has just been off all this time, you know, and it's something so simple to fix that we need to check, you know, quite often. You know, just make a habit of checking in the morning when you get up, make sure your polarity's on. And if it is, then you're going to respond so much better, and making sure you have lots of water too.
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you. I actually had a friend with iTerra that was wanting water for her dog and the dog would not drink it. And she does energy work as well. And she checked his polarity and found that he was switched. And as soon as she fixed him, he was drinking the water.
See?
So weird.
And I'm sure that, you know, there's different ways to check for polarity, but even if you rub a stainless steel on the bottom of their feet and not check for it, I'm sure it's going to help no matter what, because, you know, so I say do that if you can.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. If all else fails, just take the stainless steel and just rub it on the bottom of his feet. It's not going to hurt, right?
Right.
Nope.
Okay, 7:29.
Yes, ma'am. All
Time for
right. Well, thank
Solex.
you. Thank you, everybody, so much
Yes.
for being here. We'll see you next week.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Crystal.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr. J.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Dr. Sheila, too. Dr. J's the lady that was talking about her husband.